Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of March 22nd. I'm Nicole Lairdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about, drumroll, Instagram for kids. So apparently, I know, right? Like, what is... So apparently, because we haven't ruined our teens' self-confidence, we've got to now branch into young child territory. But so Facebook has announced that they are going to be creating a Instagram that is for kids under the age of 13. And because they're saying, you know, kids want to be able to connect with their friends. They want to be able to share. They want to be able to share because currently anybody under 13 isn't allowed to use photo sharing on if they're on Facebook. So,
well, they're not supposed to be on Facebook or Instagram at all, right?
No, although I thought Facebook changed its age guidelines. Maybe they didn't.
I have a couple of young friends that when it's ever it's their birthday on Facebook, it comes up that they're like turning 30. Right. And they're like in their teens. Right. So, you know, let's not pretend that kids aren't getting around this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, apparently, so there's a messenger for kids. Did you know that? Like a Facebook Messenger for kids? Mm-hmm. So I didn't know that. Okay. So
I didn't know that either.
This Instagram, of course, as you know, is like a photo sharing platform, and you can follow photos based on hashtags and all kinds of things. So anyway, our concern is, what is that going to look like in real life? Like, how is that going to work? And do we want that for our kids?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of thinking no, but
I would be so concerned about the self-esteem piece of this. I mean, as it is for 13-year-olds, the whole, like, how many likes did your post get? How many comments? How many followers do you have? For 13 to whatever, 50-year-olds, that's a big deal. So that's even worse for littler kids, I think. They just have even less ability to separate that from who they are and why they are and what makes them special. So that part would concern me a lot as a parent.
Definitely. This reminds me of when I was trying to get my daughter into mainstream out of a self-contained special education classroom when she was like she would have been going into 3rd grade. And the child study team said, oh, those 3rd grade girls, they're really mean. She'd never survive in a 3rd grade class. And they put her in a 2nd grade class. So it's like people in schools know you probably don't want to give that kind of judgy tool to even 3rd graders.
Right. Yes, please.
And who is going to be in charge of making sure that everybody who is on Instagram for kids is legitimately a kid?
Yes.
Whose job is that? Because you know what? They're not doing that job now in terms of limiting younger kids from getting on the real thing.
Right.
Who is going to make sure? Because otherwise it just sounds like, yo, pedophiles over here. Hey. No.
Yeah. Well, and it's just one more avenue to for the child to keep up with. Right. I think
that's right.
You know, like I don't necessarily. Well, okay. You know what the reality is? Okay, actually, here's the reality. This is what's going to happen. Is that yes, they're going to come out with Instagram for kids, but the kids are going to decide whether that's going to be their main communication tool, right? Because they have a few to choose from.
They're still going to be stealing mom's phone to do the real thing. Yeah.
It's just that with Instagram, I mean, I guess Snap is all photos too, but I don't know what age you can get onto Snapchat.
I'm guessing it's 13 too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It just has so many problems.
It's going to be a marketing bonanza for like Disney and anybody else who wants to market for kids because if indeed they limit it to that age group, you know, every cereal, every toy, every children's film is going to be on there with the coolest content. Here, share this with all of your friends and tell your mom. That'll be $50. So, it just seems so fraught with problems. And also, I mean, I thought this when the whole pandemic stuff started, that the one thing we did not need as a society was being in each other's company less. You know, we were already so online, and now we can't see each other in person at all. And I feel the same way about this. I mean, social media is already such a fraught thing for kids. Yeah. We want to make it more of it, and for younger kids, this seems to be the wrong direction entirely.
Yeah,
you know, just not what's called for at this particular time in history. Y'all, stop it.
But then, okay, here's a question though. So there are kids who are already using social media, young kids under 13. So they have their own phones and their access to their, you know, they have their own devices so that they have access to this stuff. Yeah. And then there are kids that have to ask mom and dad for use or, you know, have very, very limited access, right? Mm-hmm. So is Instagram going to change? Is it going to put a demand on kids to have to get their own devices? Like, do you think it'll create demand for kids to get their own devices, or is it just going to continue to stay within the world of kids who do have their own devices?
Yeah. And I mean, kids are already they're already demanding that, right? I mean,
So it's not going to necessarily create more Well, is it? Like, will kids be like, oh my gosh, I want Instagram, Mom, get me a phone?
Well, it creates more haves and have-naughty situations as well. And also nice mom, mean mom situations. Like, no, I don't care how many Instagrams there are for kids. You are not having a phone. And then your kid is ostracized in yet one more place. Excellent.
Right.
Thanks there,
so
Facebook.
Is it just going to dig the hole deeper for those kids that already have devices? Because I don't think it's going to increase the number of kids who get devices, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be...
I wonder how they're going to do it, because you need to make sure that, you know, unaccompanied adults are not hanging out there with the kids. So you got to keep the bad grown-ups out. But you also, as a parent, I would want to be able to monitor what my kid is doing. So do you have some sort of parental permission to engage, or, you know, and how would you prove that? It sounds like a humongous headache for somebody who's going to have the job of vetting all of this. Why would they want to take that? Aren't they in enough trouble? Why do they want to take that on?
They must have done the calculation that it's worth their financial while to...
Adult social media has gotten so difficult. We're just going to go hang out with the kindergartners. That'll be fine. I'm sure nothing bad could happen that way. There'll be flame wars in first grade. It's going to be awful.
Well, they have an age minimum. Like, right now you have to be 13. Like, is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 8? Is it going to be 5? Like, how do you decide that?
You can get 5-year-olds with fake IDs. Swearing that they're 8.
They can't even do the math to figure out like what year they need to plug in.
Toddlers stealing their, you know, older siblings' phones so they can get ahead of that sweet, sweet Instagram. This does not go in a positive direction, people.
Yeah. Maybe best to leave that alone.
There's no silver lining here. Please rethink.
I don't know how it can compete with, well, there's just other platforms. I think that kids are...
Yeah, a sanctioned version of a forbidden thing is not so much of interest, right?
Well, a sanctioned version of something that's not interesting to begin with.
Yeah, well, but kids don't want to be on kids' Instagram. They want to be on grown-ups' Instagram.
Well, and Instagram's kind of boring. Like, it's all very...
Possibly you are looking at the wrong parts of Instagram. I don't know.
Okay, no, but it's
Nicole's boring
mostly,
Instagram minute.
but it's still photos. I mean, unless you're looking at the stories, right?
Yeah.
But if you're scrolling, it's not like Snapchat where you're scrolling through all these videos, or TikTok, right? Where you're just scrolling through videos. Instagrams, you're just scrolling through still photos, and I don't think
but
that's
you're
going to capture
scrolling
their
through
attention.
still photos of that actor or musician you like. Are they going to,
Or would you
have a
rather watch
presence
them on TikTok?
well, that's what I was going to be kids TikTok now, because I know kids, sneak onto their parents' accounts to TikTok as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they already are.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. This is just all going to go roaring downhill at a quick pace. Pretty soon it'll just be all kids. All the adults will just say, I've had it with this. So just let the kids have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we tend to not be like alarmists about tech use.
Yeah, but no.
But this seems like an occasion where we might be.
Yeah. I'm not really feeling the love with this. Like, we talk about this before, that technology and apps can really open doors for kids, certain kids who have, who are wanting to connect with their peers and have communication issues or whatnot. But this just feels very inappropriate for some reason. I don't know why.
Some doors are best left locked, This is the running out into the street of doors. Just keep it closed.
Yeah.
But who are we kidding? It's nothing we say is going to stop it.
Right?
Yes, there's money to be made, so it shall be.
Yes. Well, you can follow us on Instagram at PR Podcast.
But only the grown-up Instagram.
Yeah, and I don't think your kids would be that interested in what we have to say on Instagram. But
probably not.
Whatever.
That's how you punish them, is you make them look at our Instagram feed and no other.
Make them follow us on Instagram.
You are an Instagram Instagram timeout. Yes, your Instagram grounded. All you can do is look at quote graphics from Parenting Roundabout. I'll do better, I promise. I'll get A's. Not bad.
Well, that's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about doing a digital detox. That's related. And then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.